What's going on, everyone? Happy New Year's Eve. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had taken a COVID test, flu test, or RSV, I hope you have tested negative. If you did test positive, like I did for COVID or any other virus, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long-term and no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Tuesday edition of the virus update. The New Year's Eve. Make that the New Year's Eve edition of the virus update for New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2024. The final virus update of the year. But I do have news for you. The viruses have spoke. They're in high levels. The virus update has been renewed for all of 2025 and probably for many years to come. So have no fear. The virus updates will continue. If you're new to my channel, maybe you clicked on this because someone you know, your Facebook timeline, text messages, neighbors, phone calls. Yeah, you're probably hearing about people who are sick right now. Maybe it's yourself. Yeah, that's a good chance why you might have clicked onto this video. Well, we give updates on all those viruses that can make you sick. Want to stay informed? Subscribe down below. Give this a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell. And share this video with anyone you know. Alright, we do have 2 orders of business to get to before we get to today's update, which does include a little bit of a year in review. First off, you're probably wondering, well, yes, I still have COVID. How do I feel? Well, first off, I'll start with the good news. The good news is, though I tested positive today, the line on my test was a little bit more faint. So that is some good news. And I feel like I have a little bit more energy today. Just a little bit more. I'm still low energy. But you will notice this video may go a little bit longer today. And this morning, my postnatal drip did show its ugly head for the first time while having COVID. Which, postnatal drip is something I had many years ago. The first COVID infection back in 2020 was the one that actually got the ball rolling on this. So, yeah, it showed its ugly head this morning when I woke up, and I was super congested this morning, which was not a pleasant thing to deal with. Other than that, I'm feeling a little bit better. I still have some pain, in my head. And one other thing that was new today, I noted that when I was preparing this video, actually before I was preparing this video, I was here on my computer, and I was doing something, and I switched tabs, and I was like, what was I just doing? That happened a few times. Brain fog, so that's something I'm definitely going to have to keep an eye on. Good thing is with these updates, I put all of my tabs in a row, so that means we're just going to be going from left to right. I won't forget what tab I'm in, or at least I hope I won't. We'll see. Alrighty, starting off with just one thing from New York City, then we're going to do 2 news things. Then we're going to take a look at a year in review. And then we are going to look at some data. And that will be it. Oh, by the way, I said we had 2 orders of business. Here is the other thing. I really have to thank everyone who left a comment, whether it be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, today, or whenever. Thank you for your well wishes, for a speedy recovery and everything. It means so much to me. I will try to get around to responding to all of them, but chances are I probably will never get to that. Again, thank you so much. Alright, starting off with NYC Healthy. Do you plan to ring in the new year in a crowded setting? Wear a mask to help protect yourself and others from COVID-19, flu, and RSV. Well-fitting masks, such as N95s, or KN95s, or KF94s provide the best protection. Very good messaging, and the biggest surprise to end the 2024 was the great messaging this holiday season from NYC Healthy. Alright, moving on to this. More than 70% of California's dairy cow herds are infected with bird flu. And yes, this will be known as the year that bird flu really started to take off. Not just in the United States, in many different places. And we saw more human cases of bird flu in the United States than we have ever seen before. Take a look at this. Area hospitals This is in Illinois. I believe it's the Springfield, Illinois here. Area hospitals implement visitor restrictions as respiratory illnesses are on the rise. So that's not a good thing. All right, let's take a look back at some things that happened in 2024. No better way to do that than over at my website, datareport.info, where I always tell you guys it's an archive out there for you. If you want to do research on something in relation to these viruses, it's a good place to do that, and it's an archive that will continue to grow in 2025. I see no reason why it will not continue to grow, because I'm more determined than ever to document everything that's happening. And let's look back on some people who tested positive for COVID in the year of 2024. Most recent one, or at least when it comes to political figures, was Phil Scott. Now you'll see some names here, and it'll say 2024. If you actually click on some of them, they're just past cases that I am archiving. Like, for example, former Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf. He did not have COVID in 2024. He actually had COVID back in 2020 and then 2022. So, as you can see there, Mayor Eric Adams did have COVID in 2024. Ohio's Governor Mike DeWine. Now, this was an interesting one. He actually tested positive for COVID over the years. Yeah, get this. 4 times now he's had COVID. And one was it a false positive? Never did get the full result on that. John Fetterman had COVID this year. And then a big name in the political world in the United States had COVID again this year. And I never did add in that previous case, but that was Joe Biden. Joe Biden did have COVID back in the summer. Remember, we had a humongous summer surge in the United States. Other countries did as well. So there were a lot of political figures that had COVID throughout the year. But there's someone else who had COVID this year. And, you know, it seems to be a reoccurring thing for this person. And, yep, Whoopi Goldberg has had COVID so many times. And I don't think it would be right if we ended the year without remembering how many times she has had COVID now. Whoopi Goldberg had COVID back in 2022 on November 14th, but she first had her infection in January of 2022. That was infection number 2. And I do believe Whoopi Goldberg has now had COVID 4 times. Her 4th case was on July 11th of 2024. 4 cases of COVID. Oh, I've had it twice. I'm not trying for 3, 4. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're trying to compete who can get it the most. No, that's not actually true, but it does feel like that sometimes. 2024 was also a year that featured many new COVID studies have come out. We'll get back to the COVID positives in a moment. But there were many new COVID studies, and my COVID study archive did grow. It did get categorized better into sections. And, hey, we've learned a lot of new things. We've learned new long COVID studies. 6% of U.S. adults have long COVID, and many have reduced quality of life. We're learning that it causes lung damage. We've also learned in a UK study that UK studies highlight the prevalence, severity, and impact of long COVID symptoms, self-reported body function and daily life activities. 18 months after COVID-19, we actually learned that, problems do last a long time after COVID for many people. Not so much learn about it, we just got more confirmation about something that many people already knew about. Hey, look at this. Back in October, there was a study. Long COVID affects 38% of emergency patients with persistent symptoms. So, that's problematic. But then if we continue on here, where did I want to go with this next? Yes. Who can forget back in the summertime, the Summer Olympics? In fact, that actually became one of our most viewed threads. Probably one of the top 10s. It had 4,666 views. And we'll now make that 4,667. I think it's going to count me as a view. I don't know. Well, look at that. It's been viewed a couple times today. Anywho, the point being, Summer Olympics turned into a COVID festival among oh so many athletes. Yeah, that thread went on to becoming 3 pages. And, next year we're going to be documenting sports differently. You notice how I was starting NFL illness thread, this and that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that in 2025. We're going to do 2 threads. One is going to be U.S. sports figures, quote, U.S. sports figures, if they test positive for COVID, well, they will go into the COVID positive archive. Their name will be highlighted. You click on the name, it goes to the COVID positive archive. All the sports illness cases will be posted in here. Not the one that injured their leg or did this, did that. Ones that's clearly it's a viral infection or it's some sort of an illness in relation to an infection for the United States. Plus, there will be a second thread for all the international cases. But then we come to this. List of performers sick in 2024. Now, I gotta admit to you, this was a thread. It's seen a lot of views. It's another one of the highest viewed threads on my site. 4,576 views. I gotta admit, we didn't do it correctly. We started it on June 28th. I never got around to adding all of the previous ones. That changes in 2025. Why? Because it's going to be starting at the new year. So, chances are 2025's thread will have more than 4 pages because it's starting from the beginning of the year. But we saw a lot of musicians cancel shows because they were sick. Just to name a few, let's just go down the line here. Pearl Jam had to cancel shows back in, when was that? Back in June, late June. Pink had to cancel shows. I mean, there were a lot of different names here. And that one singer, Pink, canceled a show in Switzerland. That was because of doctor's orders after falling ill. Wilson Ann had to undergo a surgery. And some of it just wasn't because of an illness. It was some other reason. But you get the point here. A lot of different shows had to be canceled, and on we could go. I mean, it was really a year of canceled performances, more than I think I can ever recall seeing before. I mean, it was just really a bad year for illness in the entertainment industry, especially with singers. And you can see here, we're on page 2, and here comes page 3. Aerosmith had to cancel because Steven Tyler was dealing with serious vocal cord injury. And that seems to be something that is hitting some of these veteran singers really hard. Whether it be in the COVID era or for a different reason, a lot of these singers who have been around for a very long time are dealing with vocal cord issues, which that is something that is not good. Blink-182 had to cancel show back in August. That was not good. Rod Stewart had to cancel a show due to dealing with strep throat. And then, if you remember correctly, and let's go back and look in the archives because that's what we can do, I'm pretty sure Rod Stewart went on to deal with COVID. Let's see here. Do I have Rod Stewart down as dealing with COVID? Let's see. Yes, I do. August 11th, Rod Stewart did have to deal with COVID. So, that was a big problem within itself. It's bad when you get double virus. I'm telling you, you can go out and get 2 of these viruses at one time. And, of course, we talked about Whoopi Goldberg already. But, the COVID positive archive is going to continue to grow. Everything on the site is going to continue to grow. Also, I do have to share with you this. A big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my website or subscribed to my YouTube channel. Look at this, 6,031 subscribers. That is a big increase. We started 2024 with having just over 2,000. We have exploded that up to 6,031. So thank you so much to everyone who subscribes. And unfortunately, our biggest growth does come when more people are sick. So, sadly, right now is another big period of growth. I mean, it's good for the channel, but Bad in the sense that, oh, so many people are sick right now. Anywho, moving back on to the rest of today's update, and we're going to take a look now at some more data. Again, thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. That's 4,000 well over a 4,000 or around a 4,000 increase. The viral activity level in Canada today for COVID is moderate. Flu A is moderate, Flu B is low, and RSV is high at this time. Taking a look now, we're skipping over air qualities for today. Oh yes, I do have a little surprise for you all today. You know how I always say, I wish I could show more CAD from other different areas? You know, computer-aided dispatch when it comes to these EMS calls? I can do that today. I found a new tool that we're going to be using in this update and future updates. Take a look at this. Yes, we're taking a look in Florida. This is, I believe, the St. Petersburg area in Florida, Pinellas County. Yes, we can actually see what is going on there right now for EMS calls, and oh my, they sure do look rather busy at the moment. You see these red bed delays, and you do see chest pains, sick person calls, a lot of different calls. So yes, a new tool that we're going to use. I'll put a link to this in the description or in the comments, probably in the comments down below for today. Taking a look at Philadelphia yesterday. Sign of the times, 829 EMS incidents. A live look at Montgomery County. Not too busy right now, but this could be a case where tonight's really busy, especially with New Year's Eve and all the drinking shenanigans that will go on with that. And taking a look at what's going on in Chester County, Pennsylvania, if we can. There we go. Oh my, not one, not two, not three. 4 respiratory difficulty calls at this time. That's not a good thing. All right, also taking a look at what's going on with the hospital situation in Pennsylvania. And we've been noting there are a ton of hospitals lately that are showing up as yellow. And one of them is Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And I want to show you this for a reason, because we can actually piece two things together. Well, a partial reason why they're so busy. On Chambersburg Emergency Department, on divert due to high volumes and limited capacity. Please expect extended wait times and consider an alternative destination. Well, let's take a look at something. Then we'll go to New Jersey. Take a look at the update today from Pennsylvania Wastewater. And if we scroll down to Franklin County, which is Chambersburg area, we do see there is an increase for COVID at this time. Now, I can't view these charts on the left because I do have one up now. And all the charts are coming up blank. It's been doing that since last week. I don't know if that's because of the holiday, or maybe they're just trying to hide the data, or something's wrong, and they have not fixed it. Hopefully next week it does come back, but the point being made here is that same area that the hospital is really crowded is dealing with an increase for COVID at this time. Where else is there increase in Pennsylvania? Pittsburgh area, Allegheny County, southeast portion of that, York County, large increase in Chester County, Pennsylvania. There's also an increase in Allentown. Everywhere else is insufficient or no change. And you're seeing nowhere on this map is reporting a decrease at this time. That is not a good thing. No decreases anywhere in Pennsylvania. In New Jersey, yesterday we had several hospitals on divert. Today it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hospitals in the red for some sort of a divert. And that does even include Hackettstown, New Jersey, is dealing with a full hospital due to patient volume. All right, taking a look at Walgreens, the positivity rate is 16.6%. The prior week was 15.5%. The current positivity rate of 16.6% is lower than the highest point of the year. And what was that highest point of the year? Let's go back and find it, shall we? Believe it or not, that came in the summertime, where it was 39 point something, we'll say, was the highest point of the year for the Walgreens positivity rate. So, yes, Walgreens positivity rate lower in the wintertime than it was in the summer. Who could have expected that? Iowa's positivity rate is 38.5%. That's a huge increase. That is up by 26.7%. It was 11.8% before. Just going to quickly go through some states here. Idaho, 10%. Georgia, 12%. Mississippi, 14%. Arkansas, 32.3% there. That's really bad. Kansas is 28.6%. Connecticut is coming in at 28.9%. New York positivity trend is coming in at 24.9%. Also, I do seem to recall the Connecticut governor. Did we mention that one when we went back through our little review of the year? I believe the Connecticut governor did test positive for COVID in this past year. Let's see here. Bear with me for 1 second. Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont. Yes, back on June 27th. He did have COVID during that big, massive summer wave that we saw here in the United States. All right, taking a look at wastewater. And we do want to go to the national level here. Let's refresh this, shall we? Because I was looking at Union Beach, New Jersey, just the other day. And we do want to see the nationwide level here. And take a look at this. It is really continuing to rise. But let's take a look at the year in review in wastewater for COVID. And we can see here, it shows up clear as day. There was a massive wave for COVID this past summer. I mean, look at it. You can see it started as early as April. Then it went up. Then another variant came. It was just a summer full of all these little subvariants. Not one was much different from the other, but it was enough to keep the wave going. And some people said, oh, it's going to start dropping too. Oh, it's going to start dropping. Well, it didn't. It didn't finally start dropping until the very end of the summer, until we got to September. It was a very long summer full of various different COVID variants. And the beginning of the year started off with a very significant wave that we saw last year. In fact, this summer's COVID wave was one of the biggest summer COVID waves of the entire pandemic. Going back to our regional look here, we do see on RSV is continuing to rise nationally. Influenza A, Influenza B, everything is really rising at this point, which is not a good thing. Taking a look at some CDC data here, and we are taking a look at some data for COVID, and we can see all regions of the United States at this point are rising for the COVID virus. Taking a look at RSV from the CDC's website, and we can see here nationally, take a look at this. RSV is listed at moderate, and look at that. If it keeps going at this rate, hopefully it peaks soon. It's almost going to head into high territory. I would like to think it is going to peak before it does that, and we can actually go back our results. We can take a look at multiple years. It does appear to be a little bit lower than last year at this point. We can also take a look here. We don't use this page a lot on the virus updates. We should. Honestly, I don't really do a lot more digging beyond what we normally look at here, but I'm starting to do that now. Taking a look here for flu. This is Influenza A. And Influenza A nationally at this point is listed in the moderate levels. Alrighty, continuing on here. Taking a look here at the various different COVID variants, and I do need to refresh this because it's not coming up. I don't know how far back we can go, but we can go back to September. Take a look at some of these variants of the past. Remember JN.1 and then JN1.1, and yes, you see there's a lot of different variants. KP.3, that's a variant that we heard about in the summertime. There's a lot of different variants here, with the most recent one being XEC. It's looking like in 2025, LP.8 or LF.7, maybe a future variant that takes the top. And there'll probably be other variants that pop up. 2024 was a year that featured several different variants. 2025 will probably be the same. What will be the future variants as we get towards the summer? Who knows? Because let's face it, there will be a summer wave of COVID in 2025. Already ending out 2024 with influenza illness-like activity. We can see it is very high in some areas and high in a lot of areas. It'll likely peak within the next few weeks, hopefully. New York State, 945 new cases added. And taking a look at their hospitalizations. Oh, yes, a big increase. Probably some of this is a lagged increase of, they're up to 783 hospitalizations and 76 people in the ICU. Alrighty, folks. I know, we did a little bit of a longer video today. Actually, almost 25 minutes. Anywho, thank you so much to everyone, again, for the well wishes, for subscribing to my channel. for checking out my website. Thank you. If you follow me on Blue Sky, X, maybe it's Counter Social. Yeah, I still just post these daily updates there. Thank you so much. I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. 2024 was not your year. I hope 2025 is the better year for me, or for you, for everyone. I hope we all have a better 2025. Because let's face it, I think many people are tired of these viruses in 2024. And unfortunately, 2025 is going to start with them. But hopefully we can find maybe some better news. I hope. I'm trying to be hopeful. Alright, once again, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, leave your comments down below. I will see you all again next year. Until I see you again next year, stay safe, everyone, and have a fantastic New Year's. Thanks for watching.